What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Always Compete Seahawks podcast. I am Sam. Win number one for the Seahawks this year against the Lions. It was a hell of a game. Really entertaining all around, kind of similar to that Seahawks Lions game last year. I'm doing a bunch of things. I'm going to do a recap, kind of a stats recap, give some positives, some negatives on the game that I noticed. And at the end, I'm going to do something a little different. Whenever we win a game, I'm going to be giving out a couple game balls, metaphorically. I'm going to give out a couple game balls to a bunch of guys on the team. And it's going to be a very prestigious honor that everybody's going to want by the end of the year because everybody wants to be recognized by this podcast, which is why I'm going to be doing it. And it's going to become kind of a weekly thing, at least hopefully weekly when we go 16-1 and win the Super Bowl. So yeah, so that's what we're talking about. So obviously the game today, 37-31, Seahawks overtime win. This was a hell of a game that was really relentless in the scoring and in the action. Even when teams didn't score, it was a turnover, it was a fumble, it was a sack, it was something that was really entertaining. Game was weird, very strange, kind of a game that was all over the place. As it goes, stats wise, Geno Smith, really good bounce back game. 32 for 41, 328 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker, solid day, 17 carries, 43 yards, 2 touchdowns. DK Metcalf, the leading receiver, he got banged up a little bit at some point in this game. But he came back in 6 catches, 75 yards, really had a really good drive on the game-winning drive in overtime, had a couple good catches. Lockett, though, is going to be this main story for the offense. 8 catches, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns after really being quiet all game last week. Really came out today and had some big-time catches, 2 huge touchdowns late in the game, including the game winner. Noah Fant maybe played his best game as a Seahawk in recent memory. 4 catches for 56 yards, had a 31-yarder, had a big catch in overtime as well. Colby Parkinson, 2 catches, 41. Will Dissly, 3 catches, 35. Jackson Smith-Njigba, a little bit more involved this week. 5 catches for 34 yards. Not a ton of yards, but getting targets, getting action. On the defensive side, Jaron Reed and Julian Love. It says Julian Love recovered a fumble. I'm pretty sure that didn't happen, but Jaron Reed definitely recovered a fumble. First play of the game, obviously, first play of the second half, David Montgomery loses that ball. Chenna Nwosu does a great job at stripping it out. Jaron Reed recovers, and that was a huge swing. As it goes for tackles, Julian Love, the leading tackler, 13 total. Jordan Brooks, 11 total. Bobby Wagner, 10 total. Guys that may get a little bit of a shout out here. Devin Witherspoon made his NFL debut and frankly looked good. He started at left corner. He's going to have those rookie mistakes that every rookie's going to have, especially in their first game. Especially with him, he's a very aggressive player, very instinctual player, which means that it's his first game. He's going to be a little bit jumpy. He's going to make a few mistakes by gunning it too hard. You have to expect that. Obviously, the flea flicker touchdown that he gives up is a tough play. It's a play that a rookie is going to give up, and you can't expect a lot more than that. But he played a good game. Had a really great pass defense on 4th down. Bounced back, made some big tackles. Very physical in the run game as expected. The run defense continues to really look solid. Gave up 102 yards, but 3.8 yards per carry. It's pretty good. They ran to the ball 27 times. Jahmyr Gibbs didn't get anything really on us. David Montgomery did most of the action there, but only 4.2 yards a carry. So, defense is not giving up chunks. They're giving up kind of little gains that can accumulate, which obviously is something that you want to fix, but you'd rather give up in 5 plays, give up 16 yards than in 1 play, give up 16 yards, that kind of thing. The run defense continues to look good. The pass defense looks solid at points today. Jared Goff, 28 for 35, had a lot of yards, but a few pass breakups in there. The team finally got after the quarterback. Draymond Jones gets a sack, his first sack as a Seahawk. Overall, I felt he played a much better game today. I felt like the pressure was a little bit more consistent, especially in that second half. The team really got after the quarterback, got after Jared Goff, and you have to give them credit. They ran good stuff from the inside that allowed them to get back there and force Jared Goff to make some quick throws. And I'm interested to see what the pressure numbers are going to be. but I think they're going to be up there as it goes for that whole thing. Trey Brown had a sack. Trey Brown might be getting a game ball later on, just to let you know. But obviously, the big play for Trey Brown, the pick six, ends Jared Goff's interceptionless streak, and it gets a second straight year where the Seahawks have a pick six against the Detroit Lions in Detroit. Last year, obviously, Tariq Woolen. This year, it's Trey Brown, and Trey Brown answered when he was called. He answered. Last week, really struggled a lot. It had a few really rough plays that cost them games. Tariq Woolen gets hurt. We'll comment on that a little bit. Tariq Woolen gets hurt. He comes out and he plays a great game. Frankly, he was very competitive, answered to everything that was asked of him, and he did a great job. Seahawks win 37-31 in overtime. Let's get to some kind of basic thoughts on this game. As it goes for the offense, the run game was not as good as I wanted it to be. I feel like the run game last week showed real flashes of popping off. Kenneth Walker in the first half had some good solid runs. In the second half, really didn't get anything. I want the run game to be more effective. It'll lead to bigger play action opportunities and bigger opportunities down the field, which the Seahawks really haven't tried yet. If you notice, the Seahawks really haven't gone deep a whole lot early on, probably because that run game is kind of lagging behind as it goes for the rest of the offense. The pass game looked great. Geno really bounced back well. He was poised all day. Didn't make, other than that sack they took late in the game, which we will, I'm not going to comment on too much because it's not going to change the game a lot, but Geno takes that sack late in the game, and that's a boneheaded play and a play that you cannot make objectively. You have to be smarter as a quarterback to throw that ball away. I was yelling at my TV. It's simple, but there's nothing much you can do about it. The team is gonna, he played a great game, and that was the one error, the one gaffe that he had. So I'm not gonna rank on him too much for that, but it's obviously a play that you have to make. But other than that, Geno pretty much played a perfect game. He made pretty much every throw accurately. The intentional grounding was baloney. It was a stupid call and a call that shouldn't have been made. Totally unnecessary and out of just like a terrible call. I've never really seen a call that bad, considering most refs do know that there are miscommunications and guys will get open. Geno wasn't even under pressure when he threw that ball, and it doesn't make sense that he would throw it away when the play is 2 seconds in and he's not under pressure. So whatever. Geno played a great game. Got to give credit to Geno. Really solid day. Receivers look great. People are a little bit upset that Jackson Smith-Njigba is not getting huge plays. 5 catches for 35 yards is an effective day. He had a couple of nice catches in there, catches in down the stretch. Jackson Smith-Njigba was not brought in to put up 100 yards a game. He was brought in to be that third target. And when DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are open, I'm sorry, they're going to take priority over Jackson Smith-Njigba. And that's just something that we have to accept. Jackson Smith-Njigba is not going to be getting number one type targets in this offense. He got 6 targets today. That's all you can really ask for. Brought in 5. They're not taking deep shots with him. I don't think they need to. You have 2 good deep ball receivers right now. I think you're okay with where you are. Would I like to see him be used more effectively in that kind of intermediate part of the field? Yes. Am I overreacting and saying that Jack Smith-Njigba isn't being used like a lot of Seahawks fans are? No. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett really bounced back well. DK had a great game later on, and Tyler Lockett might be getting some hardware here in this episode. 8 receptions, 59 yards, 2 touchdowns for Tyler, 6 for 75 for DK. Really solid day all around. Got to give some credit to the tight ends. Noah Fant, Colby Parkinson, and Will Dissly all combined for 130-ish yards, which is huge from the tight ends. So the tight ends got a lot of run, a lot of unique formations, tight ends in the backfield. Tyler Lockett had a lot of plays where he started in the backfield, shifted out, trying to keep the Lions on their toes. And I like it. I like the offensive creativity. It obviously worked, scoring 37 points on a Lions team that played really well against the Chiefs last week. So I'm interested to see where this offensive creativity goes. Got to give some love to the offensive line. They played their asses off today. They really played well. Jake Curran, Stone Forsythe, listen, they're backup tackles. They're going to have some errors. They're going to maybe have some false starts, some holdings. you have to give them credit for what they went out and did today. They hung in tight. They played strong. Aiden Hutchinson didn't have a huge day. Gino had a lot of time to throw. He had a great day. And Jake Curran, Stone Forsyth, credit to you guys. Oluwatimi stepped up at times and he played well. Evan Brown played well. Really no complaints on the offensive line, especially after last week, which was a really rough game offensively for the offensive line. Got to give some credit there. They looked terrific, and I got to give a shout out. Moving to the defense, in the first half, the pass rush was still not where I wanted it to be. And I do think it improved in the second half, but I'm saying we have to be more consistent getting after that passer, especially on the outside. I feel like the inside can generate pressure consistently. The outside really needs to get better at pushing in and closing in that pocket and having Goff step into sacks rather than being able to scramble out. Run defense looks solid still. No real chunk plays. If I'm looking at it here, David Montgomery's longest run was 16 yards. That's good. That is good considering where this run defense was at last year. I think overall you have to give a shout out to this run defense, how they played. Bobby Wagner, Jordan Brooks have played really well so far. They're very consistent. As it goes for the pass defense in the secondary, Tariq Woolen's out. I think if Tariq Woolen plays a lot of this game, the game looks a little different. The Lions still took advantage of that in middle of the field. I feel like Devin Witherspoon played a fine game. Trey Brown obviously had a really solid day. And I got to give some love to those guys and how they did. Not much more to say about the defense. I think they gave up a lot of points, but they came in clutch when they needed to, forcing 2 key turnovers that one was a score and one led to a score. So you have to give the defense credit for bouncing back in that second half. Lions scored 17 in the second half. Seahawks scored 20. Well, if you're counting overtime, they scored 30. So, when you're able to outscore your opponents 30-17 in the second half, that's pretty good. And defense looked much better than last week. Still missing Jamal Adams, who will be getting more run when he comes in, hopefully next week. As it goes for special teams, Jason Myers is in a funk. Starting off the year, what is he now? 3 for 6. He's got to get better. The 56-yarder is a kick that a lot of kickers would miss, but the 45-yarder is one you have to put in. Obviously, when you look at how it went to the end of the game and the Lions drove down and got that game-tying field goal, if you're in a situation there where you have Jason Myers make that field goal, you have a game where the Lions need to go down and score a touchdown. If you have them make both field goals, you're up by 9, and the Lions have to scramble to score and then hopefully get an onside kick and then score again. Overall, Jason Myers has to be better. He probably will be better. It's very early, but that's going to be something to watch. Will Jason Myers settle in, or will he kind of continue to have these woes after getting an extension this offseason? Not really sure, but we're going to hope that gets better. Michael Dixon, really nice game. 50 yards average punt, nothing more you can ask for. All in all, kind of all my comments on the game. I feel like the coaching was a little bit better. The defensive coaching, I think, has to be more consistent. And I think that the offensive coaching needs to be more simple. I think that we get away from the bread and butter a little bit, which is why I was really happy in the second half to see and especially in overtime, to see the offense do the simple plays, the 10 and ins over the middle, the 5 and outs, the quick out routes, the quick dump offs. I'm really happy to see the offense get to that. And that feels like a situation that can spark an offense. When you get that start of the overtime to Noah Fant, get that zone beater where he just sits in the middle, he's wide open. Those are the plays that I need the Seahawks to run more. Let's not be so difficult. Let's get plays that make Gino comfortable, plays that are easy to run, and plays that are really difficult to mess up. That's all I have to say. I feel like the coaching was better. Pete really fought hard for his boys out there, argued a lot for kind of where they were and what happened. I got to give love to Pete. I feel like he coached better. I feel like the system has to continue to evolve as the season goes on and has to continue to fit the personnel, which I feel like it started to do in the second half for both sides of the ball today. Moving on, I'm going to be giving out my game balls. I don't have any balls. Wow. Don't take that clip, but yeah, I don't really have anything to give. So I'm just gonna go out and give my game balls to the guys that I think deserve game balls. First guy that's getting a game ball is Eugene Cyril Smith. This guy, Gino, played a great game, really great bounce back, led the boys effectively. Got to give him a game ball. Tyler Lockett will get a game ball. He played great. Uh, 2 touchdowns, game winner. Got to give him some love. Jake Curran is going to get a game ball for me. Held down Aiden Hutchinson the whole way, looked really solid, really steady, and held down that right side. And he's going to need to hold it down for the next 4 weeks minimum with Abe Lucas out. So, really good on Jake Curran. Got to give him some love. He gets a game ball. I will be giving a game ball to Trey Brown, who had a legacy game today, a legacy game. Comes out, sack one play. I believe the next play, a pick six. Unbelievable job by Trey Brown, especially stepping up when we needed you most. Tariq Woolen goes down. You kind of feel like, oh my God, that's the end of the world. He comes in, plays effectively, does a great job. And other than that, for game balls, I'm giving out 3. Do I feel like anyone else deserves a game ball? I'm not going to give one to Devin Witherspoon, although he could earn it. You know what? Just for the sake of it, I'm going to give it out to Draymond Jones. Got his first sack as a Seahawk. Looked very good in the second half. Seemed to find a spark a little bit on that defense. So I'm going to give Draymond Jones a game ball. 2 offense, 2 defense. No special teams game balls for me. Shout out to Jarek Reed, though, for wearing the blue face mask after the game, which is awesome. Swag, confidence. Gotta love it. Also had a great game play on special teams, too. Yeah, that's going to do it. So Seahawks win 37-31. A lot of positives, few negatives that you can take away and try to grow on, and negatives even carried over from last week. But you win, so you celebrate for the time being. Celebrate on Sunday, get to work on Monday. That's what they always say. Yeah, got to give some love for my game ball guys. Gino, Jake Curran, Trey Brown, Draymond Jones. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Jarek Reed. Give me your thoughts in the comments below. What do you feel about this game? What do you think? Kind of what do you think the Seahawks should do moving forward with this offense? What do you think about the coaching? Who do you think deserved a game ball that I didn't give a shout out for? Please leave all comments in the comments below. I look at them. I won't always respond to them, but I do see them. I promise you. Leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you ever want to know exactly when we upload a video. We're probably doing 2 a week, maybe 3 if there's ever some sort of event going down. And yeah, that'll do it. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.